that's really good.
Automobile accidents are the leading cause of teenage deaths in the United States. Street racing accounts for half of these incidents.
Good afternoon, I'm Officer Polero with Sarasota Police Department. I've been asked to speak on the topic of street racing. First off, I would just like to say that the Florida State statute for street racing, they actually call it drag racing, it's an actual criminal charge. It's Florida State Statutes 316-191. And it literally just states two vehicles at a point of side-by-side at accelerating speeds, making an attempt to outdistance each other. I think I see that all the time. And also it says that there does not need to be any kind of pre-plan or, flag waiver or anybody that initiates it. Just any two cars that are trying to outdistance each other are racing. So that's a really, really broad statement. I've maybe dealt with it 12 times maybe in my career of almost 4 years. Majority of the time, we do not get both racers. Majority of the time, it's motorcycles. And also a majority of the time, other charges stem from an incident that started out as drag racing. It may turn into road rage. It may turn into an aggravated assault. People like to, run their vehicles or try to, run other vehicles off the road or do crazy things. Sometimes people pull guns, even in racing when people are sore losers. The other thing to be mindful of is it seems like a harmless thing to do with your friends. It seems like a lot of economy cars are pretty fast now these days. But one thing to keep in mind is a lot of times people get charged with fleeing to elude, which is a felony. So is the aggravated assault. But if a cop gets behind you and lights you up, and if he perceives you as trying to get away from him, you will get charged with fleeing to elude. So once again, it's just not worth it. Majority of the time, people can't think real fast, and they're like, "Oh, I'm getting pulled over," or they look in their rearview mirror and they're like, "Oh no, what do I do?" And sometimes they try to get away. They think they're going to go for the other driver. Oh, the cop's going to get the other driver. Nope, he's right behind you, and then you get charged with fleeing to elude, and you get a felony charge. My stance on it, obviously, as a police officer, is don't do it. Just because I've seen so many fiery crashes and people getting hurt, and it's not worth hurting you. It's not worth hurting your friends or hitting another person and freaking out, not sure what to do. Sometimes people run, but it's not worth hurting another person, because then you get leaving the scene of a crash or vehicular homicide. It's just not worth it.
My stance on street racing is still going to be illegal, because it's always going to be illegal, because it's life endangering to the driver and to the people around him. Of course, they created drag strips to control that, but people don't do it anymore because people still enjoy street racing, because people have to pay for drag strips. Now, here's something I saw online, I found out myself. Build a drag strip so people stop street racing. Perfect. No more street racing. Then neighbors complain about people driving at the drag strip. And then people got to go back to street racing because people are still complaining. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it myself, because I don't give a damn. I just could care less if I get caught, because you don't get caught. But most people, it does endanger people. I lost a close friend of mine named Pablo Cortez in a really bad accident a couple years ago, or about a year ago, and that shit sucked. But it's all in how you do it. If you know what you're doing, then you're fine. If you know how to control it, if you're doing it in a controlled area, you're fine. But if you're doing it where you're endangering other lives and being reckless, other than Mexico, then you're kind of fucking yourself. The first thing that comes to mind whenever people talk about street racing is normally just the cars that they use, where to go for it, and how to do it. There's roll racing, digs, all different types of things. There's all different types of cars you can use. It's mainly just a group of kids getting together and doing a loop on the road.
Do you think street racing is bad? Legally, yeah, because accidents can happen and you are going over the speed limit, but in reality, no.
What is your stance on street racing?
I have to say that my stance on street racing is that it's illegal for a reason. It's dangerous, it's unnecessary, There are plenty of drag strips and local racetracks that people can use if they want to prove the speed or horsepower of their vehicle. So street racing is unnecessary and dangerous.
Ever participated in a street race?
I have participated in street races in my younger years, and now that I'm more mature and older, I understand why they're illegal and why they're so dangerous. People can get hurt. Young people who can't control a vehicle, who don't have the experience to control a vehicle or regain the control of a vehicle, shouldn't be participating in street races.
What's your stance on street racing?
Street racing? I enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's definitely an adrenaline rush, which I enjoy.
Alright. Is the risk greater than the reward, or is the reward greater than the risk?
I think it varies person by person. If you were to ask my mom, she would probably say the risk of her dying racing is kind of stupid. For me, I mean, I do stupid stuff all the time. That I do it just for the adrenaline, and I understand the risks. And so I would say for me, the reward outweighs the risks.
Do you think there should be more sanctioned events that takes place closer to your home, unpaid?
I do, because I mean, it'd be safer, and it would be more organized and everything.
Alright. Thank you for your time.
Do you have a car?
No.
Bruh. Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
So street racing's fun, but it can also be dangerous.
Here's why street racing may seem fun to those that enjoy it, but it's also very dangerous.